What's good, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're diving into some more games that have incredible art direction, also fun gameplay, but really these things stand out with their visual design. Shadow of the Colossus is first. It came out in 2005 on the PS2, and then a PS3 remaster, and then a PS4 remake. It's often heralded as a masterpiece of minimalist storytelling and visual design. In Shadow of the Colossus, you play as Wander, a young man on a quest to resurrect a girl named Mono. To do this, you must defeat 16 colossi, each a massive, towering creature in a sprawling, desolate landscape. The art direction in Shadow of the Colossus is nothing short of breathtaking. The game's world is vast, yet hauntingly empty, which perfectly complements the themes of solitude and determination. The colossi themselves are marvels of design, each one unique, combining elements of architecture, nature, and ancient mythology. The game's muted color palette and the interplay of light and shadow create a sense of melancholy and awe, making every battle feel like a truly epic encounter. Plus, the music is really spread out. It's very minimal, and it only comes in during the heat of battle, and it makes that atmosphere of the world feel even more impactful. Shadow of the Colossus was met with widespread critical acclaim upon its release, with many praising its emotional depth, innovative gameplay, and of course, the stunning art direction. It very quickly became a cult classic. It's often cited as one of the greatest video games of all time. I will say the PS4 remake was well received, with critics highlighting the updated visuals and how it retained the original game's essence, but it is different. If you're going to play a version of this game and you want the true representation, honestly, the PlayStation 2 or the PS3 version are the best routes to go, in my opinion. The PS3 version, unfortunately, has a bit of a glitch with the stamina bar, and it just runs out a little bit quicker than it should. It's no big deal if you're playing on easy or normal, but for hard or speedrun hard modes, it's pretty challenging to deal with, and it's unfortunate that Bluepoint never resolved this. The PS4 version looks really great, but it is a full-on rebuild, so it doesn't feel exactly the same. It has some quality of life improvements, a photo mode, which is just massive. I love that. But if you're really gonna play one, I recommend the PS3 version or the PS2 version on PCSX2. Next on the list is Fury, a fast-paced action game developed by the game makers back in 2016. In Fury, you play as a mysterious figure known only as the Stranger, who must fight through a series of intense one-on-one battles to escape from a futuristic prison. Fury's art direction is a standout due to its vibrant, neon-drenched aesthetic that blends anime influences with sci-fi elements. The game's visual style was heavily inspired by the works of Takashi Okazaki, the creator of Afro Samurai, who also served as the character designer for Fury. Each boss is designed with a unique visual identity that reflects their personality, and the game's use of color is striking, with those neon lights contrasting against dark and moody backgrounds, creating a visually intense experience that perfectly matches the game's frenetic pace. Intense boss battles and the distinct art style, the game was particularly noted for the difficulty, which drew comparisons to the Soul series, and its unique aesthetic, which sets it apart from other action games. It's got tight mechanics, it's got striking visuals, it's pretty darn fun, and I think it's a very cool game if you're looking for something with this visual style. Next up is a little bit different. It's Gris, or Gris. I've always called it Gris, I think. It's a visually stunning platformer developed by the Nomada studio and released in 2018. It's a game that focuses on the journey of a young girl named Gris who is dealing with a painful experience. The game is a metaphorical exploration of her emotions as she traverses a world filled with sorrow, loss, and then ultimately hope. Unlike more traditional platformers, Gris doesn't have any enemies or threats. It's just about the experience and the journey. The art direction in this game is absolutely mesmerizing. The game uses a watercolor-inspired aesthetic with delicate hand-drawn animations that bring its world to life. Each environment in the game represents different stages of grief, which are reflected in the game's color palette. As Gris progresses through her journey, the world gradually regains its color, symbolizing her emotional healing. The use of color and abstract design elements creates a dreamlike atmosphere that feels both fragile and beautiful. The way the art and the music blend together in Gris creates this emotional, resonant experience that really is unique. And it's a game where every frame looks like a painting, and every moment is carefully crafted to evoke deep emotional responses from you, the player. And the game was also received well. Do note, if you're looking for a very repeatable game, tons of gameplay to go through, it's not that. This is definitely one of those different kinds of experiences. And critics just gave the game huge praise for its ability to convey complex emotions through its art and the atmosphere without relying on dialogue or text. Greece won a bunch of awards for its art direction and was frequently cited as one of the most visually striking games of 2018. And you knew I couldn't get through this whole video without covering a platinum game. It's Astral Chain. It came out in 2019 for the Switch. In this game, you play as a member of a special police task force in a futuristic city that's under attack from a mysterious interdimensional set of creatures known as the Chimeras. The game blends fast-paced combat with exploration and puzzle-solving elements, all set in a richly detailed cyberpunk world. You've got anime influences, these cyberpunk aesthetics. It all creates a visually dynamic world that's both vibrant and gritty. And the game's environments are filled with neon lights, towering skyscrapers, and a mix of futuristic and dystopian elements that make the city feel alive, immersive, and unique. And the character designs, led by the renowned manga artist Masakusa Katsura, are sleek and stylish, with players customizing their armor and the otherworldly chimeras standing out. Very striking. The use of color in the game is also really noteworthy, with strong emphasis on the blues, the reds, the purples. It's got a very distinct and energetic look. It's got this kind of cel-shaded vibe that nothing else really looks quite like this. It's so striking. They got it running on the Switch, which is shocking. I wish this would have come to the PC. It looks amazing on the Switch, but this would be one of those games I think tons of people would try. And gameplay is really weird and kind of unique as well. You control your character with the left stick and your other character with the right stick. It's hard to explain, but when it comes together, it's just Platinum Games doing what they do best and making an awesome action game. And the music is great. The game received positive reviews for the innovative gameplay, the deep combat system, and of course the art direction. That unique visual style and the way it combined various genres into one cohesive experience gave it a lot of momentum on the reviews. And the collaboration between Platinum Games and Nintendo has always sort of been seen as successful, with Astral Chain standing out as one of the most visually impressive games on the entire Switch system. Overall, a very cool game that I think went under the radar for most players. If you got a Switch, check it out. And finally, we have Sonic Mania, a 2017 platformer developed by a team of passionate Sonic fans led by Christian Whitehead in collaboration with Sega. Sonic Mania is a love letter to the classic Sonic games of the 1990s, featuring both remastered levels from the original games and all new stages. The game perfectly captures the feel of the original Sonic titles while adding fresh elements to make it feel both nostalgic and new. Sonic Mania really blends the retro styling with some modern design. It features the pixel art that closely mirrors the look of the original Sonic games on the old Sega Genesis, but with enhanced animations and more detailed backgrounds and smoother transitions. The color palette is bright and vibrant, with each zone bursting with personality and life. From the lush greenery of the Green Hill Zone to the high-tech landscapes of Stardust Speedway, every level in Sonic Mania is meticulously crafted to evoke charm and energy of the classic Sonic games, while also standing on its own as a modern title. The attention to detail in the sprite work and the fluidity of the animations makes Sonic Mania a joy to look at, whether you're a longtime fan or if you're a newcomer to the series. Sonic Mania was met with widespread acclaim from both fans and critics, who praised it as one of the best Sonic games in years. The game's art direction was particularly highlighted, with many appreciating how it stayed true to the original games while also feeling fresh and updated for a new set of players. Sonic Mania was celebrated for its ability to recapture the magic of classic Sonic while introducing new ideas that kept the experience exciting. It not only satisfied the nostalgia, but also introduced a whole new generation of players to the Blue Blur in all of his 2D glory. So there you have it, 5 more games with incredible art direction you absolutely need to try. Each of these games gives you something unique, from like minimalist beauty to vibes in Greece to the retro charm of Sonic Mania. Whether you're in it for the gameplay, the story, or just to admire the visuals, the atmosphere, these games leave a lasting impression. And most importantly, they all put the player experience at the forefront. In this era of modern games, live service everywhere, all this hollow FOMO stuff, there are games that you need to play, games that put you in the driver's seat, that were built specifically to give you the best experience possible from passionate devs. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the usual YouTube things. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Take some time to recharge, do something nice for yourself, and I will see you again on Monday.